Is it okay for your partner to have friends of the opposite sex? A question that often arises, but we don't speak about it and we just avoid the question. Now, the answer lies in 3 elements, and these 3 elements need to be well balanced. First one is communication. Second one is mutual respect. And the third one is trust. I'm going to give you my suggestion later on, but I really and truly want to hear your comments. I want you to comment down below if you've got this kind of question and you're afraid to deal with it. I also want you to express your experiences, what you've gone through in situations like this, because this is one of those topics that sometimes is taboo and we're all fearful of raising it. And there's many reasons why we're fearful of raising it. First of all, we're fearful of how he's going to react. We're scared that it's going to explode and it's going to turn into a massive altercation. Second fear is, I don't want to be seen and perceived as needy or clingy or a jealous type of a person. And another fear is, what if he leaves me? So the first point, communication. Communication is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without it, you don't have a good, healthy relationship. It's crucial that you share what your feelings are, what your opinions are, and what your insecurities are, so you don't create any sort of confusion and misunderstanding in terms of where you're coming from. So this means being true to yourself. Don't be fearful of how your partner's going to react to you. And if there is any judgment, it's a warning bell for you. But I don't want you to be in a situation that you don't want to speak out because you fear of being criticized or judged. You have got the right to feel the way you feel. Don't let anybody ever invalidate how you feel, because you've been through this life. You've had experiences that nobody else has had. And often these insecurities arise out of a number of factors. Number one, it could arise out of childhood traumas that you've experienced. And it may be negligible and appear to be negligible to somebody else. But at a young stage, that impacted you so deeply, and it's sitting in your deep unconscious mind. But this can also be based on previous relationships that you've been in. And thankfully, hopefully, you've survived toxic relationships. And that just builds up fear and anxiety. And you just go into this relationship being fearful and being afraid to speak how you speak. So ultimately what I'm saying, it's about your attachment style. So in this discussion, this communication, you should establish clear boundaries and have a nice debate around it that feels comfortable to both of you, and reach agreement and consensus on how you're going to react and how you're going to deal with your partner being friends with somebody of the opposite sex. I came across a video that was actually mind-blowing and gave me absolute answer and a great suggestion on how to deal with situations like this. I'm going to let you know how it looks at the end of this video. If you don't want to miss these tips on how to navigate these waters in relationships, hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on, and you won't miss another upload. So what is really important is maintaining a calm dialogue and having mutual respect for each other in this discussion, which brings me to point number 2. Mutual respect. Mutual respect is absolutely essential when your partner is having friendships with somebody of the opposite sex. So this really means you need to acknowledge what each other's boundaries are and what their opinions are on the matter, and having respect for that. But likewise, you don't want to undermine the relationship. If your partner needs to have friendships, you need to respect that that's important for them. But how you navigate it and how you deal with it is absolutely critical. So this means you both have to navigate and agree on what behaviors are acceptable and what behaviors are unacceptable. And this has to be done by mutual agreement. You need to listen to what your partner's saying and taking heed of what they're saying without being defensive, and modifying your behaviors where you can. And that way you can work through and create this relationship of mutual respect. His needs are met and your needs are met. And I must just say to you, a little dose of jealousy is actually good in a relationship, but you don't want it to become overpowering. You don't want it to destroy the relationship, that it becomes all-consuming. Then you know you have a problem and you need to address it. Don't ever let jealousy make decisions for you. My third point is trust. There's us in the word trust for a reason, because without trust, there is no relationship. There is no us. Now, it's absolutely critical that you start building trust. And a relationship goes through many phases as you start evolving. And you can't right off the bat go in and start making demands. As the relationship progresses and becomes more serious over time, it's important that you start building trust. And trust happens incrementally. It's one of those issues that build step by step, and you have the basic foundations and building blocks as you progress through the relationship. Now, trust is absolutely vital when you have relationships with friends of the opposite sex. Trust is the basis of feeling secure in a relationship. So trust actually means having confidence in your partner's intentions, trusting that they can uphold the agreement that the two of you have reached, and having integrity in the relationship and being true to you and being true to themselves. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to let go of unnecessary doubts and avoid yourself going down that rabbit hole of trying to interrogate and find out every single situation, every single interaction, because that is unhealthy. And you must avoid the urge to monitor those relationships. Give them the space and give them the trust to have those relationships. So building trust is having a foundation of transparency. So if you have to hide your text that you're sending to a man, or he's hiding text that he's sending to another woman, or hiding the fact that he's sending somebody a gift and not sharing it with you, then you've got a problem in the relationship. That's when it starts eating away the foundation that you're trying to build in this relationship. And sometimes it's difficult to go back, and sometimes it's difficult to let go and forgive when this trust has been broken. So basically, let me tell you, if people admit to tell you what they're actually doing, or they're hiding something from you, it is a lie nonetheless. And lies break down relationships, even lies of omission. So when your trust is built and your trust is strong, it means that the two of you have so much faith in each other that you know you'll maintain the integrity of a relationship. And you know you can go off and he tells you he's going to have a dinner with a friend. You're okay with it because he was open with his communication, he informed you, and that in itself starts building a relationship where you can respect and keep a meaningful connection with your partner. So trust, when it's properly nurtured, can create that sense of independence. And that is an important part of a relationship, to have the two of you work in a situation where you run your life independently, they have their life, an independent life, but the two of you come together and have mutual understanding and build a strong connection that is not destroyed by not sharing things openly and honestly with each other. That the connection between you two remains the top priority for both of you. So if your partner is unable to empathize with you and he criticizes you, or he walks away from the relationship, or he leaves you, the worst case scenario, for heaven's sakes, he leaves you. You know what? He's done you a favor, because you've just dodged a bullet. And it's going to save you a lifelong relationship of pain and unhappiness. And what a sad place to be in a relationship where you feel continuously out of control, continuously jealous, continuously undervalued, not feeling a sense of belonging, and no trust in a relationship. Rather cry tears now, and it'll be short-lived, than have years and years of unhappiness. Here's my suggestion. Pretty straightforward and simple. If I have a male friend, he can only be my male friend on one condition. And that condition is that you know of him, you've met him, and he's also your mutual friend. And likewise, if he has a female friend, you can have that friend on one condition, that you've also met that friend and both of you agree that you're mutual friends. So essentially, you are friends as a couple. So you can go out to dinner as a couple. You can send them messages as a couple, or gifts from you and him as a couple. If this suggestion makes you feel uncomfortable, there's a lot more things that need to be unpacked here, and look at the whole nature of this relationship. Perhaps you're in a situationship rather than a meaningful, deep connected relationship. Or it could also trigger some areas for yourself to work on if you're feeling insecure or jealous about your partner having female friends. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that for a very controversial, touchy subject. And like I said, if you don't want to miss any more uploads, hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you all in the next video.